All right, good morning, guys. Hope you're doing well today. I'm doing well. Well, what's today? Today is June 15th. It's been a number of days since I did a video, but yeah, had a good weekend. Enjoyed the All-Star race on Sunday night. That was a good race. We also had, if you're following my videos, we also had a open house on Saturday for our daughter graduating from high school. A lot of family in town. Crazy busy weekend. Preparing for it, and then of course cleaning up afterwards. Yeah, got some good sleep the other day. I think I slept for about 10 hours, which is like an insane amount of time for me to sleep. Saturday night into Sunday. But yeah, I'm putting a few decals on this number 26 Ricky Bobby Wonder car, and it's been sitting here for a while, so yeah, I got a lot to do on this one, but wanted to put a few decals on there, just a couple simple ones across the back and on the side here. I also find it interesting, just building this car and just seeing the different variants that are out there. It looks like Racing Champions did a few of them, but they are rare and hard to find, and so yeah, we'll get a few in on the side here and see how these turn out. I also wanted to show, well, let me back up a little bit. So my laptop computer died about a week and a half ago. And unfortunately, I wasn't doing a good job of backing things up on a regular basis. And so I lost a lot of information, unfortunately. Still trying to recover what was on the hard drive if I can. But one of the things I lost was the little file that I had of all the little labels that I was making. So it was very frustrating because it's very time consuming to make all these labels. And I try to conserve the sheets of paper that I have. These have like a little sticky back to them. They're kind of peel and stick paper. I think I got it at Walmart. But I try to group them all together and print as many as I can on one sheet. So there's a lot of like planning and research, like what customs do I have in the works? What customs am I planning on doing in the near future? That kind of stuff. And so try to get all that together. And so what I worked on was actually a Google Docs. So if you're familiar with Google, they have Google Docs and they have Google Sheets. Those are the two primarily that looks like I'm going to be using. And so when I log into my Gmail or just go into Google, all my files are going to be there automatically saved, whenever I edit them. And so that's what I'm going to start using a little bit more often. And so what I did on, I guess it was Sunday afternoon, was I went on and I built some more labels using Google Docs. And so, yeah, it's Kurt Busch, number 1 Advent Health, 2019 Camaro Z01. And then I threw my little company logo there, thanks to Billy Ray, at the bottom. Now, here's where I struggle, right? So, and here, let me show you. So here's the sheet. So this is the sheet. This is kind of how I do it, right? I kind of print them off, or build it like this, and I've got them all here, like so. Kind of pulling the paper down here, and then I just kind of cut them out. So my issue though is, and I'll just use this one here. So here's the Ty Gibbs number 54 Monster that I put up on eBay. I think the auction ends tonight. But this is how I did this label. I think, number one, I probably need to do a better job of centering this logo underneath the lettering. So I kind of centered it here underneath Supra a little bit, this 2021 Supra. But if you look at it in total, it's because this Daytona Road Course win stretches farther, I probably should have brought it and centered it underneath the longest row that I have. What do you guys think? So I just need to do better in the future. But yeah, obviously it makes my label a lot bigger than what I had done before. But I don't know. Give me your feedback. What do you think on these labels? If you look at the standard label that comes from Lionel, it's the reflective label. Looks like that. Trying to get it here. You can see, hey, there's me, right? And there's my camera. But yeah, the lettering is a little bit smaller. If I can get this, I don't know if it'll show up here. You can see that maybe better. And it's a lot smaller, a little bit harder to read, honestly, because of the reflective thing. But I was trying to duplicate what it has. So you've got the name, you've got the number of the car and the sponsor, and then you've got the year and the model of the vehicle. Then it says limited edition, whatever, and some serial number, serialized number. I don't really care about that. So that's why when I do mine, it starts off with the driver name, the number, and I like to put in, if it has something special like you won the race or whatever, I'll have that next row there where it's the Daytona Road Course win, and then down at the very bottom I'll say the 2021, the year of the car, and then the model, which is a Supra. And then I've got my logo at the bottom. So using Google Docs and buying some simple label paper at Walmart, and then sizing everything up. It takes it takes a little while to get it sized properly. Obviously you can't go bigger than the side of the box, so I got some work to do there to try to fine-tune that to make it a little bit better. But appreciate you guys' feedback. Big supporter and of getting people's opinions and that kind of thing for this kind of stuff, because what I think might look cool, you guys are like, hey, that's really dumb. You need to fix that. So let me know. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. God's good. We had a good weekend, and I was able to get most all of the projects that I wanted to get done. And God gave us a really nice day. It was, I was always afraid it was going to be like super hot, and or rainy. And so when you have people over, there's just, you have some overflow that runs outside, and so if it was super hot or rainy, then, that just makes it a little bit more difficult. But the weather was like low to mid 70s and overcast. It was like perfect weather going. So yeah, that was really a blessing. Yeah, had a good number of people over. Everybody seemed to enjoy themselves. Good conversation, catching up with people maybe we haven't seen in a few years. So that's always good. I don't say a few years, maybe a few months, but invited a friend over to say a few words to Ashley and kind of encourage her spiritually and in her future days and her walk. It was good. The just kind of brief. The message was about recipes, and specifically about making a cake. I thought it was interesting. So, when you go to make a cake, you kind of follow the recipe, and when you follow the recipe, the cake turns out good. It's really, really good. But when you're making the cake, the individual pieces of your cake mix and following the recipe, if you ate them individually, some of them are going to be really, really not palatable. Like if you just ate the flour, or if you just ate the baking soda, that's not going to be very good. But when you mix it all together and your focus is on the end product, then it's good. It's really good. And that's kind of the way it is with life. You go through life, and there's a lot of different things that happen through life. Some things, not good at all. But they define us and help shape us to be the people that we are. And so the focus is not then on the individual difficult times in our lives, but the focus is on the end product. And that's where we have to keep our minds, is on the end product. If we get wrapped up in the difficult things that happen to us, then, we're going to be miserable. But we are to focus, as God is the focus. Focuses on us being the end product. So, yeah, it was good. It was a good little message, something that a good reminder for our daughter. Yeah, I shared a few words. I shared a couple of things about the scriptures. I think the two verses that I shared were Matthew 4:4. When Jesus is being tempted by Satan, and his response, to the one temptation, is that man does not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God. And how God has given us His Word, and that's how we're to live. It's like the recipe, right? It's, you follow the recipe, and good things are going to turn out. And if you look at God's Word as the recipe, this is how you live life. Is it all roses and butterflies, unicorns? Of course not. Of course not. It's like going through boot camp, right? I was never in the military, but I work with a lot of people in the military. And what is boot camp? What's the purpose of boot camp? Is it hard and difficult? Of course it is. But the end product is a disciplined, fit soldier, ready for use. And that's kind of the way God works. He sometimes puts us through the gauntlet for the purpose of making us better than we were at the beginning. And that sometimes that can only happen through trials, through difficulty, through testing. So, anyways, that was one. And then I had something similar was from the book of Psalms, Psalm 119. I can't remember exactly what the verse is, but where it says, "Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path." So many times in my life when I've been confused as to what to do, maybe just a fog comes over you. God, what's going on? What do you want me to do? Why is this happening? And I go to the scriptures and I read, and inevitably God brings clarity. There's a focus that needs to change usually, and because I'm the one out of focus. I've been focusing on other things, and God says, bring your focus here, not on your problems, but on me. And it's I see now. I see clearly what I'm supposed to do, and the joy returns. And the direction, the clarity of direction returns, and it's just a wonderful thing. So God's word is a lamp unto our feet and a light. Is that right? Thy word is a lamp unto my feet. Yeah, I got to sing the song in order to get the verse right. And a light unto my path. Yep. You ever walk down? I remember walking down this path years ago. Went camping, and I had this really weak flashlight, and we had gone down this path, and all of a sudden, boom! The sun went down, and you're in the mountains, and it was like a little bit of a cloud cover. And pitch black. It's actually a very interesting movie, by the way. But anyways, I digress. Pitch black, darkness, and we had this weak flashlight. And I remember trying to get out of there on the trail, walking down this trail. And oh my gosh, could barely see in front of you. Any little noise, I'm thinking, oh, it's a bear. Scary. It was actually scary. I was young. But the interesting thing when you think about God's word is it's a lamp unto my feet, a light unto our path. I mean, if I had a light that was a good, shining light, it would have taken away the anxiety, taken away the fear, and it would have made the path clear. It's a very simple concept, but that's what God's word does. So I don't just, I do these videos on these die-cast cars and stuff, but I just encourage you guys to consider, God's word. It's the greatest thing that I've ever read, and I can't emphasize it enough, that I do. So. All right, so yeah, that's one thing interesting about this board. Because I had polyurethaned it a couple coats, the water doesn't dissipate, and so it just kind of stays there. It's got nowhere to go, so it just kind of stays there. So I probably need to sop it up to make sure that it doesn't just get nasty, stay in there. But yeah, so as you can see, I got a lot of work to do here on this car, but it's coming along good. And I think one of these wonders goes up here on the sides. I got to make sure I've got it all trimmed and ready to go before I put that on. And I think these go on the back. These little red and yellow flames, I think these go on the back somewhere, so I've got to look at the photo one more time, make sure I know exactly where that goes. You know, unfortunately, there's nothing here on this B pillar, and I'm looking. I don't think there's anything that goes up here either. So I think the only thing that goes on this side is the Wonder here across here. But the interesting part will be trying to get these pieces here across the nose of the vehicle, across the front here, and figure out exactly how best to put these. That will be coming here probably later today or tomorrow. So, all right, guys. Appreciate your feedback on these labels. Let me know what you think. I'm always open for advice and things that can be improved. I would definitely appreciate any comments or feedback on that. If you haven't already, you know, take a look at this this car. I'm trying to think what the bidding was up to. It was over $25, I think. But yeah, this is a rare piece. I mean, I'll make a few more, but this one turned out as good as I could probably make it, to be honest with you. I was looking at it before I boxed it up the other day, and I'm like, wow, honestly, I don't know if I could have done better on this car than I did. So, yeah, I'm a little proud of myself. But yes, you know, if you're making customs, right, you know, for those of you that make them, you look at your product at the end of the day and you say, you know, I could have done better here, I could have done better there, you know, almost all the time, you know, if you have an attention to detail. But on this one, I was like, wow, this one looks pretty good. You know, so anyways, God bless you guys. Appreciate you watching. Appreciate your comments, your feedback. Hope you have a blessed day, and we will see you in the next video. Take care.